You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We have gone over the pros and cons of an in-house quarterback option for 2025. We've talked about a one-year transfer quarterback in 2025. Now, multi-year transfer portal quarterback. Is that the best option for Syracuse football this offseason? There is a big pro and there is a big con, all right? Here's the big pro. If you hit big in the transfer portal with a quarterback that has multiple years of eligibility, that is absolutely terrific. You have essentially hit the jackpot. It's like if Kyle McCord had another year of eligibility. Wouldn't we all be extremely excited for another year of Kyle McCord? It would be amazing. And in theory, if you get a multi-year transfer quarterback right now, and he's your starter in 2025, he's your starter in 2026. Let's just say it's 2 years. It could be longer than 2 years. If Syracuse says, let's go get a redshirt freshman in the portal and start him week one, and oh my goodness, he's amazing. But let's say it's 2 years. In theory, you wouldn't have to wait, you wouldn't have to worry about a starting quarterback again until 2027. 2027 is when you would have to think about another starting quarterback. Because you would have all of 2025, you would have all of 2026, and it's kind of like a mini marriage. Okay, he's not a long-term guy like the in-house quarterback options, but he's also not only a one-year, I hate to say it, but it's the reality. He's not a one-year rental. You have him for multiple seasons, and he's really good. That would be amazing. And you don't have to worry about quarterback until 2027. But there's a big, of course, there's got to be a big con with this. Unlike one-year transfer, where it would be likely that a young quarterback would leave, a young quarterback is definitely leaving in this scenario. Maybe even multiple young quarterbacks are out the door. So your insurance policy would not be on the roster right now, in all likelihood, for 2027 and beyond. You're basically giving up on Jakhari Williams if you get a multi-year transfer. Hear me out on this, because Jakhari Williams would have to wait until 2027 to even be able to compete for a starting quarterback spot. He's going to be a redshirt junior by then. Is he really going to wait 3 full years, counting this past season, before he finally gets an opportunity to be a starting quarterback? If you like Jakhari Williams, this is not the solution for you. You do not want a multi-year transfer if you are in love with Jakhari Williams. Because there's no way, in my opinion, that he would wait this long. With the way the transfer portal is nowadays. Now, if this was 2010, I would say tough luck. Jakhari Williams would have to wait. But in 2010, the portal doesn't really mean anything anyway. He wouldn't get a crack to start until 2027. You would also be asking, I think we all like Luke Carney, right? We all like him. He could be the gem of this recruiting class that they just brought in. Brian Smith, Locked On recruiting expert, said that if he played at maybe a different school, he would be considered one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He put up video game numbers in high school. You can go look it up on Max Preps. Luke Carney. It's ridiculous. 2027 would be the earliest he can start. You're going to ask him to wait 2 full years. Now, it can be done. Arch Manning at Texas waited 2 full years. He did get starting opportunities because Quinn Ewers got hurt this season. But he did essentially wait 2 full years. But at least he had the assurance that, hey, as long as you develop how you're supposed to develop, you're going to be the guy in 2025. Here's the issue, though. And this, it also goes with Rich Belin, too. I mean, he would not be able to compete until 2027 for the starting spot. And if you bring in a multi-year transfer, okay, not only are you asking the 2025 guys to wait to start, potentially, Syracuse is not going to stop recruiting quarterbacks. You think they're just going to not recruit a quarterback in 2026 or not recruit a quarterback in 2027? No. Whether it's the number one quarterback in the country or it's the lowest rated quarterback in the country, they're going to bring in someone. In all likelihood. I can't see him not doing that. So I would go as far as to say that if you bring in a multi-year transfer, you are risking losing multiple young quarterbacks currently on your roster because there's just no playing time for them. Is that something that you're willing to do, though? That's why we did this whole exercise. Pros and cons. Each one of them, a 1-year transfer, a 2-year transfer, in-house option, they all have massive upside. But they also have a massive downside. And I wanted to point that all out for you before we start talking about the option that I prefer, which will be on tomorrow's episode, Poll Friday, just 10 to 15 minutes. And also, we are going to go over quarterbacks in the transfer portal who could be a good fit. Because we have to. Because it is a possibility they bring someone in. But yeah, folks, no matter how you slice it, there's big upside and there is big downside. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you be willing to bring in a 2+ year transfer quarterback, or would you rather go with a 1-year transfer quarterback? Or dare I say, forget the transfer portal. We got our guy on the roster right now. You could pick one of 3. You can say it's Jakhari Williams. You can say it's Luke Carney. You can say it's Rich Belin. One of those 3 should be the starter in week 1 against Tennessee. I love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below.